Did you know that you could have a truly natural birth even if you don't end up with the unmedicated birth that you had planned? Hey mamas, it's your Cajun Stork here, Midwife Kyra. As you know, I believe in truly natural birth, and if you do too, you're going to want to click that subscribe button. Meghan is here today to share with you her birth story where she was a transfer from the natural birth house to the hospital, where she went from planning an unmedicated, truly natural birth, but ended up with an epidural in the hospital, still having a birth with that truly natural philosophy. I know you're going to love it, so watch this.
Hi, my name is Meghan. I am a licensed massage therapist here at the Natural Birth House, and I actually chose this place to deliver. Kyra was my midwife. She was absolutely amazing. My baby was born a year ago on June 12th, 2017. He was actually almost a 9-pound baby, and my birth story actually involved a trip to the hospital. When I came into the birth house, Kyra was actually my first call. I called her before I called my OB because I was dead set on a natural birth. I had read Ina May Gaskin, and I knew my body was made for this, and this is what I wanted to do. I also come from a family of healthcare workers. My mom's a nurse, my granddad's a nurse. I grew up in hospitals, so I knew that if complications arose, if I absolutely needed an epidural, I would get one, and I would be okay with it. But I was dead set on a natural birth. There was no way in heck I was going to a hospital. But that's what happened. And I am 100% okay that that is what happened for me. I started off contracting on Friday night. I contracted through the night. It was irregular. There was no need to call anybody. We went to the farmer's market on Saturday, walked around, tried to really get those contractions going. And Saturday evening, they started getting bad, so I called my doula. Her name is Stephanie, and she came by after an event. She checked on me and saw that my contractions weren't close enough, they weren't regular enough, and I was still able to speak and in coherent sentences, and I wasn't ready to go see Kyra yet. So I stayed awake contracting all Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, she came to see me again. And she helped me with comfort measures. She gave me a rebozo, and she did some belly shakes and some hip shakes, and she was, having Stephanie there was, I'm an advocate for doulas. But around 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, I was in my front yard. I was walking up and down my driveway. I was doing squats at one end and then coming back and doing squats at another, and back and forth. And around 4, she looked at me and she said, okay, we're gonna call Kyra and we're gonna have her get the birth house ready. We'll be there for about 5. So I went down to the end of the driveway, did a squat, came back to the front of the driveway, and at that point she looked at me and said, okay, so we're gonna get you in the car now. And immediately loaded me into the car. My husband drove to the birth house, and we got here at about 4:30 in the afternoon. And Kyra brought me back to the ladies' suite. It's the one I had chosen that I wanted to give birth in. And I guess it was around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, they started filling up the birth tub because I wanted a water birth. And if not birth in the water, I at least wanted to get in a nice warm tub and relax. So they started filling it up. And all of a sudden, the water heater went out. So they switched from the water heater next to my room to the other water heater that heats the rest of the birth house. And they were rolling tubs of water from that water heater into my room. And Kyra and Stephanie are absolutely amazing. She's getting her water birth. She's getting what she wants. And the guy who came to help, he was the landlord or the landlord's husband, came to try to help fix the water heater issues. Ended up staying I got a crawfish pot. And so what did they boiled water in a crawfish pot on the front porch of the birth house. And they boiled it there, and they rolled it all the way to the back and dumped it in my tub. And it took them at least 2 hours to get my tub ready for me. They finally said it was done and I was good to go in, and I jumped in that tub. I didn't care who was around. I just got in it. And I sat there, and I labored for probably about 45 minutes in that tub. And at that point, Kyra pulled me out, and she checked to see how dilated I was. Before I got in the tub, I was at about 8 and 10. When I got out of the tub, my cervix had swollen, and I was down to 6 centimeters. So after 12 hours of laboring in the birth house, she looked at me and said, I think the best thing for you to do is go to the hospital so you can get an epidural, so you can get a nap. Because right now you're exhausted and your cervix is swelling and there's nothing more we can do from here. I hopped in the car with my husband at 4:30 in the morning. We drove to General. I got my epidural. I took a 3-hour nap. After that 3-hour nap, they gave me a peanut ball, and I laid on my right side for 30 minutes, and then they flipped me to my left side for 30 minutes. And then the little nurse came in and she said, okay, so we're gonna do a practice push. Didn't know what that was, but I said, okay, I'll do a practice push. We practiced, and she left the room. So Kyra was there, and I looked at her and I said, Kyra, can I keep pushing? She said, well, of course. So Kyra grabbed a leg, and my mom grabbed a leg, and I pushed. And that stubborn baby boy came out after 12 minutes of pushing. 12 hours of active labor at the birth house, plus from 4:30 till 12:30 at the hospital. He came out in 12 minutes. And he was 8 pounds, 13 ounces, 21 and a half inches long. And the nurse who weighed him looked at his feet and said, man, that little boy could walk out of here right now. And right now he is 15 months old. I had an amazing birth, even though it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted to give birth at the birth house. I wanted a water birth, but it's not what happened. And I am 100% okay with that because I got what I needed. The midwives care. They don't care that you only give birth here. They care that you're healthy. They care that you're happy, and they care that your baby is healthy. And that's why I love it here at the Natural Birth House. With that said, for my next one, I am still coming to the birth house, 100%. Kyra's gonna be my midwife. I'm hiring Stephanie back as a doula, just so you know, Stephanie. And I'm confident that it will be the birth that I want, whether or not I end up going to the hospital again. But you know, your second birth is easier, right?
Now that you see Meghan's birth story, if you want to become a client here at the Natural Birth House, there's a link just for you in the description below. Otherwise, click right here and you can see some more positive birth stories from our clients here at the Birth House. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Midwife Monday. Bye-bye.